Hello everyone, my name is Bahroo and welcome to Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies Shadow of Evil Easter egg guide. Now this took quite some time to put together, so if you enjoy this guide, do me a favor and hit the like button, as it would make me feel better for the amount of time and effort that went into this. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, I tried to put this together to make it clear and concise as to what exactly you are going to have to do for each and every step, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I like to go ahead and turn on the pack-a-punch machine by round 1, and this is doable with 4 people. So what you're going to want to do is have one person go ahead and open up the first gate. From there on, they're going to go ahead and turn on the beast mode. Now, there's a variety of things that they are going to have to do in the first area. Melee the door open that's next to the pedestal, shock the crane, open up the summoning key, and then finally open up the magician summoning area. Now, once all of those are done, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and grab the summoning key and grab the magician's pen. Now, the people who didn't open the door, the 3 people who didn't, need to knife 2 zombies. The reason you need to do this is because you will need the points for later on. Once you have the magic pen and everyone has gotten their 2 kills each, go ahead and head into the magician summoning area. Now, the reason you want to have everyone in here is that it will complete faster, and at the end of every ritual, everyone will be awarded 500 points. The reason I like to do this on round 1 is because it makes doing these significantly easier. And the reason is because these priests will end up dying in a single knife attack, which makes your life a lot easier. And don't worry if you end up going down, you still get the points and you'll be revived at the end of this whole thing. So once you do that, a little worm will end up spawning, and you're going to need to grab that worm, 1 worm per person. And once you have done the magician area, you're going to want to go ahead and head to the Footlight District, which is located on the far left. Have the person with the second highest points open up the first door, and then the person with the highest points end up opening up the second door. Now, what you're going to need to do in this beast mode is you're going to need to turn on the burlesque. Also, go ahead and turn on the perk machine and throw down the toupee there. You're going to need to make sure you melee that box, as it has the summoning item that you are going to need in order to actually, activate this. Then grapple onto the back there and shock open the burlesque. Once you have the burlesque open, grab the toupee and head on over. Now, this one is going to have a very similar summoning section. However, it will have one additional thing added onto it. For every 2nd and 4th summoning area that you do, you will have a Margwa spawn, and we'll go over that in just a second. Once you finish it off, go ahead and have somebody pick up a worm, and a Margwa will spawn right in the middle of the stage. I recommend everyone having on the left, so that way his head will be vulnerable and ready to shoot off. Now, you're going to have to shoot off all 3 of his heads, and he'll drop a power-up as well as a Margwa heart. Go ahead and pick up the heart for later, as it will be used to make the wonder weapon of this map. Now, it doesn't really matter who ends up getting the kills here. However, having a double points is really nice, as you'll get 1,000 per head. It doesn't really matter who ends up getting the killing blow. Just make sure that they end up dying, and make sure to not pick up any kind of kaboom should they drop it, as you want to make sure that all the zombies stay alive. Now, once that's done, go ahead and head into the Canals District, which can be found on the far right. Once there, you're going to have someone open up the Ruby Rabbit, as well as meleeing a box behind a grate, and then shocking one little power box that's to the right over there at the end of the Canal District. Now, for this, they're going to need to be able to do this quickly, as you won't have too much time in order to get all of those steps done, and you're going to need to make sure you get them all done in order to actually finish this in 1 round. If you end up messing up, then you have the option of going to round 2 or simply restarting the entire attempt, but I would probably just go to round 2, as restarting isn't really that needed. Anyway, once you have unlocked the Ruby Rabbit, what you're going to do is head on in here and do another summoning. This is going to be exactly the same as the other 2 that you've just done. Everyone's going to get 500 points. Make sure you melee the priest. Make sure to not melee the wandering zombies that will end the round. And if they do end up dying in this room due to the summoning event, they don't actually are considered killed. Now, finally, once you have the Ruby Rabbit done, you're going to need to head to the Waterfront District, which is the last door that you haven't opened. From here, you're going to need to go to the boxing arena, have the person with the second most and first most open up each of the doors, so that way you won't have too many issues with points. And then you're going to need to have the next person with beast mode open up a door to our left. You're then going to need to grapple up to the top and melee open a box, and then run all the way to the boxer arena and melee open a door. All of that should be able to be done in a pretty decent amount of time with quite a bit of time left over. It's not as strict as doing the Ruby Rabbit. Now, once that's all done, go ahead and head into the Boxer Arena and start your final summoning. This is the last time that you're going to have to do these summoning. Well, actually, you're going to have one more, but it's the last time that you're going to have to stay in one of these cramped little areas. Now, again, just go ahead and melee all the priests and make sure you don't kill the wandering zombies. Once it's finished, have the last person who hasn't picked up a worm pick up that one, and then you're going to have another Margwa that's going to end up spawning. Go ahead and kill that. Now, once you have enough points, what you're going to want to do is have everyone buy an HVK, or I just call it a Havoc, off the wall. The reason you want to buy this is because it's a very decent assault rifle, has very high power, pretty decent damage, and it's going to be available to pretty much everybody that, you know, you're all going to have about 1,600 points at this point, assuming you've followed the steps as I have shown them to you. You could take your chances and hit the box, but I like to make my strategies without using the box because they are so random. You could get a rocket launcher, you could get, you know, a shotgun, you could get a sniper rifle, you could get something that you're not very comfortable with. So that's why I just recommend buying a Havoc off the wall, because it's very, I don't know, it feels good. So anyway, once you've killed the last Margwa there, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and head back through the Waterfront District and take a left through the portal. This will take you to what's called the Sacred Area, and I'll be referencing this part a lot throughout this guide, so whenever I reference the Sacred Area, this is that place. Now, once you're actually in the Sacred Area, head over to this area with the symbols on it, and it will break open, assuming you have all of the rituals done. You're going to need to make sure everyone places their little worm inside of each of the pedestals, and that will have the walls come to life as well as a platform in the middle come to life. Now, once that is all done, go ahead and hit the summoning ritual in the middle, and you'll have to survive one last little wave defense here with the little keepers that try and kill you. Once this step is done, you will have Pack-a-Punch unlocked, and you will be able to Pack-a-Punch your guns for 5,000, repack them for 2,500, and all of that good stuff. About a minute after you finish this section, a Margwa will end up spawning on the left, and again, if you end up going down, it's not too big of a deal, as you are going to be able to just get revived. Now, once that step is done, that is step 1, all rituals are complete. Next, you're going to need to do step 2, which is to build the sword. In order to do that, you're going to need to take the tram and go to each of the different areas and look for symbols that are found on the wall there, or inside of buildings rather. Now, you saw the first symbol there, and this is going from Footlight, or this is going from Waterfront to Footlight. So you can kind of see where the tram is and where exactly these symbols are. There are 3 of them that you are going to need to find, and these change from game to game, so you're going to need to memorize which ones you see, as you can't just randomly guess. If you end up getting the symbols wrong, then you will have to redo the symbols again. And one thing to keep in mind is that if you end up failing it, then you are not going to be able to do it again until the next round. So make sure that you end up writing it down or something like that. I like to remember them as seeing like 2 big arrows, 4 small arrows, as it's a lot easier to try and memorize them like that. Now, here's the last one going from Footlight to Canals, and you can see it's right in there, 4 small arrows. Now, once you have all of those symbols, you're going to need to go into beast mode in the Sacred Area, and you're going to see this little wall here. It's going to have all of the symbols. You're going to need to shock the symbols that you saw, and it will open up and allow you to actually see the eggs and pick them up. Now, with the remainder of your beast mode, go ahead and open up a bunch of different things. Turn on stamina, turn on Widow's Wine, Mule Kick, open up the shortcut, and open up anything else that you may have missed. Now, once you get back into human mode, go ahead and grab your egg and place it on the statue here. You're going to need exactly 12 kills to charge this egg. You need 12 kills for every single statue, so that's 48 kills, and you're going to need those 48 kills for every single person in your game. So it's going to take quite a few kills to get this done. You'll usually get this, even if you start on round 2, it'll take somewhere around 8 or 9 to actually get this step finished, as it does require a lot of kills. Now, what you're going to need to do after you finish this egg in the sacred place is you're going to need to take it to a variety of different spots as well. There is one in the waterfront district, one in the footlight, and one in the canals as well. So just pick up your egg. Once it's been fully charged, you will hear a sound when it actually does get fully charged. Just pick it up and take it to the next area to get charged up. Now, if you're doing this with a full group, I recommend not having everyone in the exact same spot, as it can lead to a couple of issues and getting overwhelmed very easily. So the strategy that we end up using is that we like to have everyone go to a different statue, and usually, unless someone gets a massive spawn or a lag spike, it should be relatively easy to actually deal with the zombie horde. Now, once you have actually charged up all of your eggs at each of the different locations, you're going to need to bring your egg back to the sacred place. Now, with this sacred place and the egg spawns, you're going to need to make sure that you keep one alive once everyone's egg is finished. The reason you want to do this is because you're going to have to do another step called arch ovums. Now, arch ovums, the way you get this is once you have your sword, you need to head back to wherever your special character location is. So the magician is going to go to the secret room, the cop is going to go to the ruby rabbit, the boxer is going to go to the boxing arena, and then the dancer is going to go to the burlesque. You will have an arch ovum by the little ghost dude, and he will just give it to you. Now, what you're going to need to do with that arch ovum is you're going to find these red circles all around the map. Again, there's one in every district and one in the middle. So what you're going to need to do is take it, go to the red circle, and place it down. This will spawn a Margwa that you are going to have to kill. Now keep in mind, you're going to have to take this egg to every single district. So once you finish the middle district, you're going to have to go to Waterfront, you're going to have to go to Burlesque, you're going to have to go to basically everywhere. Now something to keep in mind when doing this is that every single player is going to have to finish off their egg. So try and keep one zombie alive, have one person kite that zombie around, and have the other three do their egg and then swap off and have the last person do their egg as well. Something else to keep in mind is that when you are doing these eggs, that the Margwas will focus whoever summoned them. Everyone else they will completely ignore, so you can get up right in their face with whatever you want. And it doesn't matter how far away you run, they will only focus the person who has summoned them. Now, one big note is that you can only do this once per round. That's right. You can only place your egg once per round. Everyone can place their egg at least once, but you can only do it once per round, which means that you are going to, this step takes a minimum of 4 rounds in order to complete. So the sooner you do it, the better, because your zombies are just going to get harder and harder the longer this step takes. Now, once you have all of those done, you're going to be able to do the final step for, which is called the wave defense, or flag defense, or capture the flag, whatever you want to call it. And here's actually the last arch ovum location here in the canals as well, in case you didn't know where that is. It's right outside the Ruby Rabbit. So once you have your arch ovum completely filled up, you will notice it whenever you press tab. It'll be a full red egg. Go ahead and bring it back to whatever your special character is. Again, you know, magician to the secret area and all that and so forth. And you will be given an upgraded sword. Now, once everybody has this upgraded sword, you will need to head back to the magician's area. What you will find in this magician area is that you will see a book on the ground next to the bookcase. And I'm actually going, I'm passing by it a couple of times there. You can actually see it on the ground. What you're going to need to do is walk up to the book and interact with it. Whatever button that is for you, it's E on PC. So whatever button you use to interact with, you're going to want to hit that. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to drop a flag in the sacred area. What you're going to need to do is take that flag, pick it up, interact with it. You won't actually have a prompt, so you'll just have to just be near it and interact with it. You're going to need to take that flag to these glowing little sparks on the ground and then interact with it and place it on the ground. You're going to need to then defend the flag for about 30 seconds or so until you hear a nice loud chime. Once that chime has gone off, you will be awarded a max ammo, and you'll need to pick it up and bring it to the next area. You need to charge 2 areas for each flag defense, and you're going to need to take this to every single place, which means you're going to have to take one to magician, you're going to have to take one to the boxer, you're going to have to take one to the burlesque, and finally one to the ruby rabbit. This step can be incredibly difficult, So you will need to make sure that you are completely perked up and have good weapons before doing this step, as it can be a little frustrating. Items to have before doing this, I would highly recommend a ray gun, as it will destroy the meatballs in one hit, as well as making sure that people have shields so they can block the meatballs. And finally, the wonder weapon of this map makes this step incredibly easy, as you will be able to fire it and just suck up all of the meatballs. Now, if you actually don't end up letting a couple of meatballs get past it and destroy the flag, you will need to redo this step for that section. So you're going to need to run back down to the sacred place, pick up the flag, and do this all over again. So it's very important that you make sure that you keep the flag alive. Now, once you have absorbed 2 of the lightning areas, go ahead and head to the ghost again for each of the different characters, and the flag will automatically be put down and start channeling the energy into the ghost, and this will awaken the priest to help you with the Shadowman fight. Again, you're going to have to do this 3 more times, and you're going to have to wait a full round before you can do it again, which means that this, again, will take a minimum of 4 rounds to actually complete. So, once you've done that, you're going to have to go to the burlesque, get one done in there. Simple stuff. If you do end up going down, if the flag defender ends up going down, it will also end the round. So that's something to keep in mind. So make sure your flag defender doesn't end up going down. Then you're going to have to take one to the boxing arena. And one thing to keep in mind is that after you finish each of these, not only will you get one when you finish the flag, but when you channel the energy into the priest, you will also get another max ammo. And then finally, you're going to want to take one to the ruby rabbit. Now, once you have finished this for all 4 locations, what you're going to need to do is take this on over to the Shadowman. It's time to kill the Shadowman once and for all. So go ahead and head to the final ritual area and have everyone activate a priest. You'll need to have one person activate each priest. So, get that coordinated and get that done. So, the way this fight works is that once the priests are all activated, they will channel a beam into the Shadowman. This will allow you to actually attack him, and you'll need to attack him so that way he is standing over the ritual area and you'll be able to land the killing blow on him. Now, something to keep in mind is that every single time that you break his shield, he will teleport back to the middle after a short amount of time and spawn a Margwa. You want to make sure that that Margwa is taken out before you continue. There will also be a variety of meatballs, zombies, and even corrupted priests spawning throughout the entire fight. So this section can get pretty hectic pretty fast. Now, once the Margwa is dealt with, go ahead and activate the priests again and keep shooting the Shadowman. He's gonna teleport all around the arena, and then once he teleports over the summoning area, just go ahead and interact with that, and you'll be able to deal the final blow. Now, it's time for the final step of this Easter egg, assuming you've lived this long. If you follow these steps, you should be done somewhere around round 17 to 20. Again, the longer this takes, the harder it's going to be, because the zombies are going to have even more health. Now, something to keep in mind is that the final step of this Easter egg is glitchy as hell. For example, right there. That's not an edit, that's just me sporadically dying for no reason. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, if someone does end up going down, thankfully, you can use the trains to bring back any fallen party members, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. Now, what you're looking for is one of these little generator boxes inside each of the train stations. You're going to need to have everyone in beast mode shock those 3. So in order to do the final step, have somebody in human mode summon the train, have the 3 beast modes shock that little generator in each of the train stations, and then once the train kills the worm, you're going to have the 3 beasts shock the priests that are in the middle. Then they will channel a beam, which will end up ending the Easter egg and preventing the apocalypse. And that is how you do this Easter egg. I hope you all enjoyed this. I tried to make this guide as quick and concise as possible. And again, if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit the like button, as it would make me feel a whole lot better. And here's the cutscene.
I'm so sorry. I really don't have time to explain. I have a universe to set right. Thank you and goodbye.
So again, that is the Apocalypse Averted. That is the final step to this Easter egg. Now, there are a few other perks that you get for beating this. The commando that you can summon will be gold and with a pack-a-punch weapon. But for the most part, that is everything. You will get your sword back, and that is the Easter egg. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope the guide is easy to follow, and go out, get your Apocalypse Averted challenge done. And I will see you all in the next video, everybody. Later.